Hey, astral beings. So, I want to talk about ways and methods to be able to heal yourself. Okay. So, one method is obviously, venting, but in a healthy way, not projecting. You're just talking about it with someone that you trust and you care about. And if you don't have someone that you trust or care about to talk to, talk to about it with God, your angels, guides, and ancestors, or whatever you might believe in and yourself and just voice it, literally actually voice it and talk about it, like, even in a sense to where, let's say, there's a conversation that you can't have with somebody. Well, act like that person is there and you're talking to them. Okay, like, because it is a conversation that maybe needed to be had and it never was able to be had. These are certain emotions or thoughts or feelings that are stuck, within you, and you need to release them. Even if it's you being sad or, hold on, hold on. There's ATV driving by. But yeah, even if you're sad, express those. If you're frustrated, express those. If you're angry, express those. You don't want to keep in any of these emotions. You have to release them. If you don't release them, it's kind of like you're being constipated, like you're holding something in and it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel good. And it will continue to feel that way until you finally do release it. And you need to release it and like acknowledge it, because even if, let's say, someone's just spewing it in a way of unhealedness or projection, you're still not doing it the proper way. Like, you're still not handling the emotion in the way it needs to be handled. You're trying to let other people have those emotions that is not theirs. Like, you still need to handle it in a proper, good way, so you can fully release it. Um, so that's one method. Another method is um, taking a stand just within yourself. Like telling yourself, yes, I experienced this thing. Yes, this happened to me. And I'm going to choose to not let that happen to me again. And then, like, actively making that choice. Because that's another big thing, is like we could be blocking ourselves because we are accepting behavior and things that internally, like our soul, our hearts, or our minds, or our bodies, actually might not like, and it might not be good for you. Um, but we continue to submit to it and accept it because maybe that's all we knew, or we feel like we aren't strong enough to stand up for ourselves in that way. So even taking a stand and making a change and making a difference to changing to something that is healthier for you, or just not accepting certain things anymore, is very, very powerful and very, very important. Just to do that alone, making changes and differences in your life can literally change your life immensely in ways that you might not even possibly imagine right now. And it's crazy. Another way is, with your food or what you consume, like if you're constantly consuming, let's say, not the greatest food, yeah, that can cause blockages within your body because you're not fueling your body with things that are good for it, that are going to make it run. It's like a car. You could be putting in really, really low grade bad gasoline or oil that is just not good for your car, so your car runs like crap and keeps, burning out, or the engine is exploding or something. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do that. So yeah, going on like what you consume, or you're watching a lot of negative things, either on social media or TV or something like that. And you are what you consume, and that goes to everything. It goes to the people you hang around, it goes to the things you watch, it goes to the things that you do and you are a part of. So if these things are not making you feel good, or it's putting you into a mindset that might not be great for you. Again, like maybe you're watching a lot of negative content and it's putting you a loop of thinking everything's negative, or something like that, which then turn is going to portray into your reality to focus and create more negativity. Sometimes you got to change what you're watching, or again, who you're around. People who you are around can actually really affect your energy, especially the people you're closest with. And that's definitely a big thing. You need to be around people that you resonate with and, you connect with on the ways that you want to connect with within yourself or you want to cultivate for yourself. And it's not a bad thing, like maybe you just need to not be around those people as often, I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. It sucks. But again, if you want to make true change or healing, you need to make drastic changes sometimes. And it doesn't mean you don't care about these people. It doesn't mean you don't love them. It's just you guys are on different paths. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like people are different. We're all different. And sometimes we need to accept that we have these differences and we need to understand that. Like, not everybody's going to get along, unfortunately, but we can still let that person do what they're going to do and they let you do what you're going to do. So you got to think about like that, and those are just some ways to heal. And everybody can find different methods, like let's say anger. Okay, well, something made you angry. Again, you can talk about it like I told you about, like within yourself or to God or whatever you believe in. Maybe you go to the gym. Maybe you need to go do kickboxing classes. And while you're doing these, you think about the things that have made you angry, okay, or made you frustrated or annoyed. And then you transmute that into working out, like busting some weights, okay, like, or again, kickboxing, or get a punching bag that's in your home and take it out on that. There's healthy manners and ways to get through these emotions. There just is. Me personally, there's absolutely no reason or excuse in the book for people to just be projecting their unhealed wounds onto people nowadays. There's so many free things and methods to be able to heal yourself or get through these certain emotions that people might be feeling that, again, there's just literally no excuse or reasoning behind why people can't take the healing into their own hands. At some point, like, people have to realize, okay, yeah, this sucked, this was unfair, this was a shitty experience that I didn't deserve, but this is still something you have to handle and deal with. It's not the world's problem or responsibility to deal with those unhealed wounds because you're not willing to do the work, you know what I'm saying? Or people are not willing to do the work. And you just got to do it yourself, like, and take that step towards a better direction in your healing process.